Our first mare due to foal is Holly. Her registered name is GA Holly QT Dream. She's a Dunalino Tobiano mare, and she is bred to Trip. Registered name Diamond H Trifecta, a Dunskin Tobiano stallion. She's due March 14th. She's had 6 foals with us. Her first foal was a Buckskin Tobiano filly 1 day early, then a Bay Dun Tobiano filly 4 days late, a Perlino Tobiano filly 2 days early, a Buckskin Tobiano colt 5 days late, a Perlino Tobiano colt 1 day late, and then she had a Buckskin colt 12 days late, followed by another Buckskin colt 12 days late. So we kind of expect Holly to go late because that seems to be her normal trend. So her late due date, if she goes 12 days late, would be March 26th. We are excited for this baby. It'll be Trip's first foal, so we're pretty pumped and excited to see what we're going to get from them. This foal will be for sale. Next up we have Chica, registered name Diamond H Risky Jet. She's a Bay Tobiano mare, bred to Trip, Diamond H Trifecta. She is due March 20th, and she's had several foals with us. First one was a Bay Tobiano filly 1 day late, then a Bay Tobiano colt 5 days late, 1 Sorrel Tobiano filly 3 days early, a Black Tobiano colt 9 days early, a Buckskin Tobiano filly 9 days early, a Bay Tobiano colt 4 days early, and a Bay Tobiano filly 4 days late. So she kind of is all over the board with her gestation, so we're not 100% sure what she's going to do. So we're keeping a close eye on her. She normally bags up a lot and drips milk like crazy before foaling, so that's usually a good indicator for her as to when she's getting close. This will also be Chica's first foal with Trip, so we're pretty excited to see what they're going to produce together, and this foal is for sale. Next up we have Prairie, registered name Rose Colored Spook. She is bred to Spook's Big Bang, who is a Bay Splash stallion. She's due April 1st. She's had 9 foals total. We don't know the history of her first 4, but the ones that she's had with us, we had a Grula Splash colt 6 days early, a Red Dun filly 13 days early, a Palomino filly 14 days early, a Dunskin colt 1 day early, and a Dunalino filly 5 days early. So where she trends on the early side, we'll be keeping a close eye on her, just because she can pop them out a little bit sooner than expected. So we'll be keeping a good watch on that. And she's been doing really great with her pregnancy, being a senior. And we've just been keeping a really close eye on her weight to make sure she's staying a good, healthy weight for her pregnancy. This foal may or may not be available after birth. We're going to wait and see what she gives us, because we might be keeping it. Next up we have Holly B, registered name Sweet Hollywood Chick. She's a Buckskin Tobiano mare. She is also bred to Trip, Diamond H Trifecta. She is due April 3rd. This foal was sold in utero. She has had 5 foals. She's had a Buckskin Tobiano colt 1 day early, a Buckskin Tobiano filly 7 days early, another Buckskin Tobiano filly 9 days early, a Perlino colt 1 day early, and a Bay Tobiano filly 9 days early. Holly B is what we consider to be a high alert mare because in the past she has had some complications after foaling, so we always keep an extra close eye on her. The past 2 foals we've had with her have been born without any issues, and but we always appreciate the extra eyes when it comes time to watching her on the cameras. This will be her first foal with Trip, so again we're very excited to see what she will produce, and the foal had been sold in utero with our future foal payment program. Next up we have Key, registered name She's a Real QT Keeper. She is also bred to Trip. We're pretty excited about this foal. It's due April 9th, and it's guaranteed to be homozygous dominant extension, so black gene, Dun and Tobiano, so it's going to be a triple homozygous foal. Key has had 2 foals with us in the past. She had a Smoky Grula Tobiano colt 5 days early and a Dunskin Tobiano filly 16 days early. So we'll be keeping a close eye on her because she's starting to trend on the early side, much like her dam did, who pretty much always went 14 days early with all of her foals. So we'll be keeping an extra close eye on her, just again because she likes to sneak them out a little bit ahead of schedule, which isn't a problem as long as they're all fully developed. But yeah, so we're pretty excited to see what these guys are going to produce because it should be something pretty special. And then we have Jazz, or Done It With Jazz as a registered name. She's a dun quarter horse mare, bred to Trip, Diamond H trifecta. She is due April 12th. She's a client's mare that we have here. She's had several foals before us, so we're unsure of their history. The one foal that she did have with us was a Bay Splash colt, and he was born one day late. So she's been off the broodmare docket for a while now, and she tried to have triplets for us last year, but we ended up having to eliminate all the foals because that's not safe. So this year she is pregnant with one baby, and we are pretty excited to see what she's going to give her owner. Jazz is such a sweet girl, very good natured, not a fan of sharing her moment with song here, but she's a really good girl, and she's going to make us a beautiful baby. And next up we have Emmy, registered name Spun Out on Whiskey. She's a buckskin splash mare, and she is bred to Sugar Check's Done It, a Palomino stallion. She is due May 3rd. She has had one foal with us last year, and she kind of threw us for a bit of a loop because she kind of went from 0 to 60 and foaled a Perlino colt 14 days early. We were not expecting that. She kind of wasn't really showing any signs, and then very quickly went into labor during the middle of the day. So we pulled her into the foaling stall, and basically her water broke and she got down and started having that baby. So we're excited to see what she's going to give us this year, and hopefully we have a little bit more time to plan around the baby's entrance. But she did really good. She was a little unsure at first with the pregnancy because it was her first baby, so she's no longer a maiden this year, so at least she'll know what her job is. And last but not least, we have Trashy, registered name First Class Trash. She's a sorrel splash mare, bred to Spook's Big Bang, who's a Bay Splash stallion, so we're excited for a splashy baby. Trashy has had several foals before coming to us. So the first foal that she had was a Bay Splash filly, which was 4 days early, and then she had a sorrel splash colt for us last year, 15 days early. She generally waxes and starts dripping milk just before foaling. Last year, she kind of pulled a fast one on us and had yellow wax for about 2 weeks, and then decided to foal outside. So she has lost all of our trust, and we'll be keeping an extra close eye on her this year so we don't have another baby born out in the paddock unexpectedly. Trashy's a really sweet girl. And again, we're super excited for a nice splashy baby, and she is due May 11th.